All right. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's event. Actually, it's an honor to be here, and to address such a distinguished gathering of industry leaders, innovators, and forward thinkers. So, FWD insurance, has got no meaning. Just to clarify, we're called FWD only, and we are a different insurance company because we are, I would say, a tech insurance company. We don't rely on traditional agent client requirements, but we're very digital in a lot of ways. We develop our products, focus on the people, like the customer, what they need, and it's in our DNA that innovation and digitalization is part of it. Now, moving forward, we stand at a pivotal moment in history. The rapid evolution of technology is transforming every aspect of our lives, our businesses, and our societies. At the heart of this transformation lies the power of data and the remarkable capabilities of artificial intelligence. So my presentation is not going to contain simply for the insurance sector, but rather I'm going to discuss about the basic fundamentals of the adoption of AI in every company, as well as the leveraging data utilization, and what values are we having if we adapt to AI. These are the agendas for this afternoon presentation. What is the current landscape? I guess this is going to be applicable to every industry here. The challenges and the opportunities of adopting, AI. And then regulatory landscape. We have a cross-functional, regulatory requirements between BSP in terms of AMLA. Likewise, banking and finance under monetary authority like the central bank. And in the insurance sector, we are under the Insurance Commission. And then what is the future outlook moving forward, and then the summary. So to differentiate, these are three items here that that have been requested for me to describe. Artificial intelligence is the tool. It's a technology tool that we use to analyze our data, and then the data is our intellectual property. And then the automation is the process of integrating our multiple system on the back end to make sure that we get an efficient result of the data outputs that we wanted to. So those are the differences, but if we're going to combine these three components, those companies that have adopted this approach, will be on the leading edge. You will be very competitive because on the onset, you understand, what the need, not the want of your company to be addressed. And what is that, the products that your customer base prefers to buy. So when we talk about analytics, it talks about data analytics, talks about, let's say, what is the top 10 product that I have? But when we do insightful analytics, this talks about, what is the preferred product that my customer wants. So there's a big difference between the top 10 product of the company versus what is the preferred product of my customer base. So what are the challenges, of adapting to AI? Number one, there's a lot, investment is number one. You have to make sure that your infrastructure will actually address the requirements. Number two is security. Number three are the regulatory frameworks, imposed. whether you're on the banking, whether, so when it say regulatory requirements, not just talking about external, but rather also internal. You do have data privacy officer because if you're going to do artificial intelligence processing, you need to make sure that, you're going to democratize your data. So by doing so, of course, the first thing that, the DPO will be the one to make sure that, okay, there's no exposure, there's no possible breach, and there's no vulnerability about it. Second is the security posture. Every time, we go online, most of the time, it's a lot easier to be on the cloud rather than having an on-prem when running an AI. Because most companies adapting to AI technology are those companies who wants immediate results. For example, like Lazada, Facebook is one of them. Why Facebook understand, how many friends do you have? What are your preferred, products, mostly what you're buying online and everything, because they're using artificial intelligence on that. The common AI, the Gen AI that we have right now, maybe you don't aware of that, is the Copilot of Microsoft. All right? The second is chatbot, and then the third is the ChatGPT. So these are the publicly open, AI products for all of that. We can always download ChatGPT. Chatbot is there when you are talking to customer, so you don't know that this is already a chatbot. But we have to be careful, and we have to consider as well, if there are pros, there are also cons of adapting to AI. So we have to make sure that, the posture of the company when it comes to cybersecurity attacks, or, so there's a framework to manage that, and there's also a framework to adopt and manage your data. So this is just sample of, the challenges that we have. And then moving forward to the opportunities once you adopt it. So this is where, you need to understand what your company needs are, when adapting to AI, not just from a customer service, by embedding chatbot, there's a lot of improvements. By using, because in AI, we have messaging AI, we have voice AI, and we have video AI. There are already persona that can talk to you, which you don't know. These are artificial intelligence. So these are the three, wherein, to combine all these three, this is what we call the ChatGPT 4 version. So aside from, enhanced customer experience, which is our number one priority right now, is because, when we release products, we release first in the market products, and our products, being an insurer, of the company, is focused on the needs of the policyholders. There's a lot of products, insurance products in the market. We have other, insurer in the Philippines like Pru, we have AIA, we have FWD, we have Sun Life, So we're giving, the empowerment to our customer base to choose what product is most suitable to them. So again, when we deliver products, we use AI, to make sure that, this is responsible AI. Meaning, it's the choice of the customer. When they answer a survey, at the end of the day, we will give them the fit to their preference, and we will give them whatever they choose. Another, advantage of, adapting to AI is operational efficiency. As I said, combining data utilization, combining the AI technology, as well as automating your back-end operation, you have the leverage, to be competitive and ahead of the competition. Most, online companies, are selling online. Mostly the issue there is that, we're good on the front. The website is doing well. The website can check out the website, but when it comes to settlement, when it comes to delivery, sometimes nandun ang issue because it's not a full end-to-end automated process. There's a broken piece in between. I can get all your orders, but when it comes to delivery, it's been chaotic. It's like, the delivery is wrong, the package, the size of what you ordered is wrong, so this is, it should be in as much fully automated. Lastly is, the product innovation. We keep on saying that, our slogan as a company is, we wanted to change the perception of Filipinos about insurance. Because at the end of the day, when we talk about insurance, Filipinos are walking away from it. It's just another expense. But to be honest, insurance, regardless, I'm not promoting FWD, but insurance in general is an investment to you guys. So we wanted to leverage on that slogan of ours, and how are we bringing it closer to the heart of the Filipinos? What type of products? How do we reach out to the Filipinos, And majority of the, let's say, customer base, that are not yet insured, we're trying to reach out on that. Similarly and logically the same as what the banks are doing right now. For those unbanked Filipinos, they're trying to create a lot of channels, digital and financial inclusion activities, just like wallet, cash card, as a channel. How banks are delivering the poor piece, it's through the cash card, plastic cards. So without opening an account, they can always have that. So the same manner that we're doing in the insurance industry, we're doing the same. In fact, FWD, we're very proactive in touching those areas like, if anyone here is familiar of the Aurora Festival in Pampanga, we sponsored, the last Aurora Festival. We are the main sponsor there. And then if you guys are gamers, we also sponsored, the gaming community, because part of, being the youngest insurer company in the Philippines, we wanted, to target Gen Z because these are the tech-savvy generation. So you can always go to our website, get the insurance that you want. In 5 minutes, you'll be insured. It's not about, people will come to you, agents will come to you, talk about the policy and everything. So we make sure that the product we deliver are first in the market. And how we do that is because of the AI. We analyze the preference of our customer base. And then lastly, by addressing and, these challenges and leveraging on the opportunities, I think there's a lot of companies that, wanted to go into it, but, doesn't know really the basic or the foundation on how to adopt artificial intelligence as a tool. For regulatory landscape, I think this, the common, challenges that we have. Number one is the Data Privacy Act. And again, as I mentioned, this is not just about external regulatory requirements. NPC is one of those. Insurance Commission is one of those. We need to respect whatever compliance and regulatory requirements they have as far as the Filipino information is concerned. Second is your internal regulatory requirements in terms of compliance, legal, as well as the risk. You have to manage the risk as well. So both, from a compliance perspective, there's cybersecurity compliance, and there's also regulatory, compliances. Non-discrimination is in terms of, the ethical AI algorithms that you're going to do that touches ethnicity, the race, the color, So we need to have a very responsible AI algorithms. Transparency and explainability, it start with, when you're having a project of adopting AI, the stakeholders, your management and your board needs to understand what is the value of adopting this and what would be, the ROI, or probably how are we going to monetize, data utilization for the company itself. And lastly is the model variation and the governance. When we are going to adopt AI and we're going to ingest, data points, as requested by the business stakeholders, put it on your data lake, there should be a proper governance. Like, the structure of your data. You have multiple systems running. You have core, you have on the side. So the structure of database and everything should be unified. There should be a proper handling of your data. Okay? And lastly, there should be a golden database. So this is going to be always, your database truth in everything that you do. Some are, a challenge also is that, when they started to use AI, it's like, they're putting it on the data lake as a repository. And it should not be. It's only the data points required by the business should be in the data lake itself. And moving forward, this is the outlook, of AI. Predictive in a sense that, it analyzes, the requirements of the business. Predictive in a sense that, it gives, an idea of what's the preference. As I mentioned, there's a difference between what is the top 10 product versus what is the preferred product. The preferred product, involves analysis. The extraction of the top 10 is very simple. It's talking just about extracting the data based on volume, based on the number of, insurance policy that's been posted in the transaction. You have AI-driven personalization, like video, enhanced fraud detection. This is another opportunity. You could actually enhance, by doing performance, AI-driven performance, fraud and detection. You can actually see the patterns. And then, integration of IoT and telematics. So all these things are just part of your opportunities, and you can leverage on all of this. So at the end of the day, these are the takeaways of having an AI within the company. But I do understand that, there's a lot of, framework that we need to build. There's a lot of challenges, investment, the management approval, the right person to run your AI, your data science group. The infrastructure is in place, building the data governance, and collaborating with your cybersecurity, collaborating with your legal and your risk and the regulatory requirements. Thank you, and I hope you were able to get some informative insights on adoption of the AI itself.